It's a big match day for the Mariners coming up, as I record this, tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Grimsby Town host fellow playoff chasers, CREWE Alexandra, at 3 o'clock at Blundell Park. And this is... I looked at this earlier in the week and I thought, because I looked at the other fixtures of the other playoff chasing teams and I thought, we've got the best fixture out of the lot. Now, people would say, Dean, you must be going crazy. You must be going insane. What do you mean? We've got the toughest game out of everybody in action this weekend that's chasing the playoff place, 7th. And yes, on paper you are absolutely correct. But I've looked at this game and I've thought, I'd rather have this game than some of the ones that fellow rivals have got. I mean, if we quickly just look at the fixtures for what I'm talking about, you know, Cambridge, they have got one exactly in there at the moment. Chesterfield, they host Tranmere. You know, and you've got Walsall against Cheltenham. Obviously, they're still in it, vaguely, but they're still in it. Oldham, they go to Shrewsbury. And, you know, Milton Keynes, Bromley, and like I said, Oldham, and you've got Salford against Gillingham, and things like that, and obviously us against CREWE. I look at like the Chesterfield fixture and the Walsall fixture and things, and the Oldham fixture. You know, you're thinking, yeah, you'd rather have those fixtures, but by having CREWE, Barnet host Barrow as well. They're the other team that's chasing it, and you're thinking to yourself, do you know, we've got on paper maybe the worst fixture out of a lot of them. I see this completely differently. I think we've got the best fixture out of a lot of them because all we have to focus on is getting the result against CREWE, because the gap isn't going to be, if we win and let's say all those other teams win, the gap's going to be no smaller. We can only gain in this. Now people will go, well no, we've just got to try and get the win against these guys, you know, and Artel didn't give much away in his pre-match. He didn't give an awful lot away. Still a couple of people are a little bit away, but you know, you never know. You never know. Town could, you know, someone could miraculously turn up on the bench that we probably didn't think we'd see again, but there we go. Artel usually diplomatic self. He did say a good statement during that. He said, as long as we win our games, the table will take care of itself. Which he said in previous ones, it's right. Deal with your result and what will happen will happen. You know, we're only 3 points off the playoff places. The goal difference is good. That does put us in good stead for that. And like I said, looking at the overall fixtures for the teams challenging, on paper, yes, we have got the tougher fixture out of a lot of them, but we've actually got the best one in a way, because everyone's going to be looking and going, Barnet are going to be favourite against Barrow, Oldham are bound to be favourite against Shrewsbury, you know, Chesterfield are going to be definitely favourites against Tranmere. Aren't they slip-up games? Whereas us, we're going to be like, we're probably, in honesty, probably bar Cambridge and Notts County and Bromley MK Dons, we are probably one of the ties of the week, ties of the weekend, really. And I think, all we have to do, we don't have to worry about Chesterfield, we don't have to worry about Oldham, we don't have to worry about, and obviously we're playing CREWE ourselves, and we don't have to worry about Barnet, because all we have to focus on is CREWE. Obviously I'll look at half time when the scores come in, but I'll be thinking, as long as we get the result, you never know what's going to happen, especially against a playoff rival. I think it's more important that we focus on what we do against these than what any other playoff rival does. I honestly think it is plain and simple as that. We need to get the result against CREWE. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing, because if we don't do our job, well, it doesn't matter, does it? So I think it's one of the better fixtures that we could have got. And like I said, they're managed by Lee Bell, obviously. Has done fairly well considering how they plummeted last year, CREWE. He's kept them in around it, fighting for it. And obviously David Artell, former CREWE boss, obviously got a high affection for CREWE, inevitable really. He did speak about probably, obviously after the game, inviting some of the staff up for a cuppa or a drink, obviously, which everyone offers, not a take, but I'm sure with the links that David's got a CREWE, I'm sure a lot of the CREWE staff will take David up on that offer. I'm sure they will. But I think this game in general, if you look at it from an individual sort of standpoint, which is what I'm going to do here, it should be a good game. It's one of these games that's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be as cagey and edgy as fuck, or it's going to end up being scoring goals and fluid, flowing football. Obviously, the injuries for Town will help, hopefully, if we can get Chaz back or we can get someone else. But you can't fault what, to be fair, Jace KB has been doing on the wing. I think this will have to be the strongest 11 that we've got. You've got to play that. You can't not. And that would be, from my untrained eye, you've got to go Cook, you've got to go KBA, you've got to go the back four as it is. You've got to nail enough play with our strongest mid. You've got to, because it's a game of massive importance, but it'll be the same for CREWE. And, everyone thought they were going to take a real nosedive. They haven't. They're steady. They're a very steady team and a competent team. There's no doubt about that. They look more definitely of a serious playoff contender this year. They're not really dropping off. It's kind of, like I said, they're being quite solid. If we look at the overall stats for the game, I'm using the BBC Sport website for this. Grimsby Town lie in 10th on 65 points. CREWE are in 8th on 66. Town have scored 59 goals this season. CREWE have scored 61. So one of the few teams that have actually scored more than us this term, but by 2. And actually we probably could have scored the other 2, obviously last weekend, but we didn't quite get what we needed. Goals conceded, we've conceded 7 goals less than CREWE. Crewe have conceded 50. The Mariners have conceded 43. And shots, though, the Mariners have had more shots. We've had more on target. And obviously with that, more off target. Block shots, 178. They've had more block shots than we have. We've had 163. The pass accuracy, pretty much even. 71.03% for Grimsby and 70.89% for Crewe. Really, the teams that like to pass the ball, and like I said, Lee Bell deserves a lot of credit for what he's done at Crewe. Like I said, they had that disaster of an end last season, but you know, they've got Tertiel and other quality players. Tertiel was the first one that came to my mind because when we played them early in the season, he basically ran us ragged. But they do have some real good players, but they always have had. Crewe are one of these teams that may not always be the higher end of the divisions, as in sort of high end League One, bottom end Championship, but they always have like a conveyor belt of youngsters that come through. Crewe are really, really good at using youth players and progressing them. So you know, you've got to respect this Crewe. That they're obviously this was Artel's first home league game when he took charge about 3 years ago, nearly 3 years ago now. We won that day, so hopefully in front of a raucous crowd, I'm sure it's going to be a good game. This is, and these are the kind of games you want to play in. Because you know both teams are going to play football. We know that. We know what Crewe are about. I've watched Crewe a few times this season. They're a decent side. They're similar to Salford. They can be quite patchy. But the good patches are good patches. If we look at points gained and lost from winning and losing positions, the Mariners have only gained 9 points from a losing position. Crewe have gained 16 points from a losing position. The Mariners have dropped more points. Well, they've dropped less points, 14. But from a winning position, Crewe have lost 17 points. Again, this is going to be a game where there's not going to be a lot in it, I don't think, but there's going to be some good football played. You can just about feel that. If you look at the recent run for both teams, the Mariners have lost 2 of their last 6. Sorry, 2 of their last 5, apologies. The 2 wins came 5-0 against Barrow before the international break and a 1-0 win against Fleetwood. Obviously last time out the 2-0 win against Crawley, but obviously Howard gave us that shot in the arm, which I think we needed even as fans. I think we needed that shot in the arm. That just because teams at the bottom doesn't mean you can take them lightly. Also, in that time, losing 1-0 at now playoff rivals Oldham. So a mixed bag for Grimsby, but we've shown how resilient we can be when we do lose. Going on to the visitors tomorrow, Crewe obviously with a massive win last time out, 1-0 against Salford, but they did lose to Accrington the game before that, beat Oldham 2-1, won 4-0 at Shrewsbury and drew 1-1 against Cheltenham. Mixed bag really for them, you know. I mean, it's kind of like drop points where you don't expect them to, Accrington and Cheltenham, and won games that you'd think they could drop points there in Oldham and Salford. That's why it's so close in the league between the two. Because actually it's very, very similar. If we look at the previous meetings, 26 previous meetings between the Railwaymen and the Mariners. We have won 8 of those. CREWE won 14 with 4 draws. So, favourites at CREWE. Playing us, and it also goes back to the previous results. The last 3 have all been wins for CREWE. 2 2-0 wins, which came in the 24-25 season, and earlier this season at CREWE it was a 3-2 win. That's when Tesgell was, well, he was the man for CREWE really that day. I expect a game similar to the game back in October. I reckon it'll be end to end. I reckon that you're going to have to score a few to win this. But the only caveat to that is, both teams really need to win. So could it get cagey? But you've got 2 managers really that don't like playing cagey. That they like going for it. Both sides will be told to go for it. So we'll have to see what comes of that. A few match facts for you by BBC's website. Grimsby Town have won 4 of their last 6 home league games against CREWE, losing 2, keeping 3 clean sheets across those 4 victories. Like I said, that hasn't happened in the last 2 seasons. That didn't happen last time. That was a 2-0 home defeat on December the 14th, 2024. Was last time we played CREWE here. CREWE will be looking to win their 4th successive Football League game against Grimsby for just the 2nd time after winning 5 in succession between 2002 and 2017. Grimsby have lost just 1 of their last 11 home league games, winning 6 and drawing 4, though that sole defeat did come in their last such match, a 3-1 defeat to Harrogate on Good Friday. A defeat you wouldn't have expected Town to have. It happens. CREWE have lost 4 of their last 5 away league games against sides from Lincolnshire, winning 1, conceding 2+ goals in each defeat during that time. Well, you're thinking, looking at stats like that, you're thinking, well, that will help you make a decision, won't it, on what the scoreline's going to be or what the result's going to be. I haven't a clue. I literally have not got a clue where we go with this. I really, really don't. What do we do? Like I said earlier, I think we've got to go with the strongest side. I would say you go Jamie Walker in the middle as well. I'm going to just say go with probably go with the same team that started against Crawley. I wouldn't want to be Artel in this one. Do you bring Sunset Bell back in? Maybe. It's difficult. This is difficult. What do you do? But I think if Chaz isn't available, I think you've got to go. I think you've got to go what we have gone, which is Burns, KV and Cook. I think for this one especially. But I think it's going to be an interesting team sheet around about 1:45, isn't it? About what Artel's going to do. good luck, David. is all I can say. But the good thing is, we've got a squad of good players, and I think you've got to, and we do trust in the players we've got here. Yes, it didn't work out against Harrogate, but we bounced back straight away against Crawley, and makes it interesting. So what am I going to go for scoreline? Well, where do we go from here? I'm going to be positive. I've got to be. I'm a Mariners fan. But I think there's going to be plenty of goals in this. I really do. And I'm going to say we're going to get a reverse to what we got back in October. It'll be Grimsby Town 3, Crewe Alexandra 2. The Mariners still pushing for that playoff place. And that would set us up lovely for midweek when we go to Chesterfield. But all the eyes will be on that one. I will be at the game. I wasn't missing this one. Definitely not. And so I'm saying 3-2 to the Mariners goal scorers. Anybody. I'm going to literally say anybody. Do you know what? He's had a lot of flack lately. I'm going to say Dara Burns is going to get one. Jays, I think definitely. I think Andy Cook as well will get the third. But with the players that Crewe have got, you've got to say that they're going to be worthy adversaries, shall we say? But can we get the kind of result that we did get when David first came here, and the first home game was a win over Crewe? Can we do that over this game? So I'm saying 3-2. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be interesting to see what you guys honestly think. And the review for the game will come on Sunday. It will not be out Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, as I won't have time to limit. So look out for it. Hit that bell button. That'll let you know when it gets uploaded. It will be uploaded on Sunday. If not, it'll be early Monday. Obviously, busy weekend for me. So, but the review will be there, and I will preview definitely on Monday. Quickly do a preview for Chesterfield. So, leave me your thoughts for this game down below. Are you excited about this game? And like I said, guys, early in the video, all we've got to do is focus on this game. Don't worry about the other ones. And a game like this makes you do it, because I think it'll help focus the fans' minds as well as the players. It's not a banana skin. Crewe are a decent side. We know we're a good side. Let's hope for a good game of football and to get the 3 points to go above Crewe in the league table, which would be nice to do, wouldn't it, going into midweek? So let me know your thoughts down below. Like, share, comment and subscribe. If you see me at the game on Saturday, do come and say, hello, Dean, and here's what I thought, and you're totally wrong, or you've been right all along this season, who knows? But let me know your thoughts down below and all that good stuff, and I will see any of you guys at the game on Saturday. I look forward to this one. Should be a busy one as well. There's also some good tickets and some good initiatives are happening by the club as well. So I will see you for the review. It'll be on Sunday, don't forget. So hit that bell button and the subscribe button. Like, share, comment and all that good stuff. And I'll see you later in the next one. Until then, guys, up the Mariners. We're into the final 6. I'll see you guys soon. Ta-ra.